Good morning, students. Hope you are doing fine. You are hale and hearty.
Hello, ma'am. We are all doing fine.
What about you, ma'am?
I am good too. Thank you. So let's begin today's class. I have already explained about the concept of development, basically human development. Today, I will discuss 4 main pillars of human development. Can anyone tell me what do the pillars mean?
Madam, pillars mean support or component of development.
Good. So they are equity, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment.
Equity, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment.
Let me now explain all these factors.
Interesting, madam.
The term equity ensures equal access to opportunities available to people. It is in respect to gender, to race, income, and caste.
Ma'am, that means everyone should get equal opportunity in all respect.
Exactly. This video will make you understand the concept of equity.
Consider giving everyone the same box to stand on to look over a fence. This is equality, but it doesn't make any sense to give someone something to stand on if it's not needed. Instead, we want to provide what is actually needed for each person to have access. This is illustrated in this image as the first person. The second person got just what was needed. The third person in this illustration gets assistance, but it doesn't solve the issue. Consider this picture. This is equity. Each person gets what is needed in order to provide access. What is needed varies between circumstances. Resources are allocated differently to allow everyone opportunities for success. But what if there was a way to remove the barrier for everyone? Instead of providing resources, we consider how to remove the barrier for all. Equity is promoting justice, impartiality, and fairness within the procedures, processes, and distribution of resources by institutions or systems. This is justice. You already know examples of this through universal design, cuts in the sidewalks, changing the font size or contrast on your phone, and buttons to open doors automatically are all examples of removing barriers for all. Universal design not only provides access for those with a disability, but it benefits everyone. Considering barriers, looking for options to remove barriers, and providing access for all are all examples of promoting equity. Change starts from within. Keep engaging and learning to make a difference.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let me tell you the second pillar of development, which is sustainability.
Ma'am, please elaborate the point.
Sustainability means avoiding destruction and depletion of our environment and conserve for future generation. Development should be planned, keeping in mind about our surrounding. To be precise, adopting eco-friendly ways of development. This video will help you understand the concept better.
Hi guys! Do you have time for a few quick questions? I see you're having a lot of fun, but do you ever stop and think if what you do is sustainable? And do you know what sustainable development means? Sustainable development is to make the world a better place for everyone now without destroying the possibilities for the next generations. If you wonder if something is sustainable, you can ask yourself, can we do this over and over again forever? Sustainable development means that we need to keep 3 things in mind at once: social progress, economic development, and climate and environment. First of all, we have to take care of our planet. We have many natural ecosystems that must be in balance in order for us to live here. The climate system is one of them. This system ensures that the temperature is correct and that the atmosphere emits exactly the right amount of solar energy. When we emit harmful greenhouse gases such as CO2, we clog the atmosphere. This changes the temperatures on Earth, which again affects our development. How we produce and use energy is incredibly important. Oil and coal are examples of energy we may run out of. Water, wind, and sun, however, will always be here. Using the lasting sources of energy that renew themselves is good for the planet and can provide jobs for years to come. Economics. Almost everything we develop, buy, and trade starts with nature. The smarter we use our natural resources and the better systems we create for a fair distribution, the more sustainable we are. One way to contribute to a more uneven distribution is to be more aware of what we buy and how it is produced. A football is a good example. It travels far before it reaches the football players. First, the materials are made. Then, they print the logo somewhere else before a third country sews it all together. One single football sees the whole world before it reaches its goal. This journey ties us together. If we are to win the battle for a sustainable future, we have to play with fair rules that applies to everyone. Social progress. We humans are part of nature, but we're also important resources for the world. Just like water, the forest, and the sun, we have minds that can create the strangest and most creative things. But for us to be the best versions of ourselves, there are certain things that must be in order, like having equal opportunities to education, safety, food, and medicine. This provides greater opportunities for us as human beings, but also for the planet. We just have to think in new ways. These three must work together. That is sustainable development. And there is actually a plan for this. All the countries of the United Nations have agreed on a joint plan for sustainable development. But for the plan to work, we need to cooperate, and we need you to be on board. Are you with us?
Okay, ma'am. It's clear now.
Students, the third pillar of development is productivity.
What does that mean, ma'am?
It refers to enhancement or increase of efficiency of labor force. If labor force is efficient and skilled, they are capable of showing capacity and potential in the labor market. Hence, better labor force yields better productivity.
Meet Beth. She owns her own business, making and selling birdhouses. To make a birdhouse, Beth needs wood, paint, nails, tools, and her own labor. These are her inputs. An input is any resource used to create goods and services. It takes Beth 1 hour to make each birdhouse. The completed birdhouses are her output. Output is the quantity of goods or services produced. With experience, Beth discovers better ways to make her birdhouses. By rearranging her production process, Beth is able to build more birdhouses in the same amount of time. She also develops skills that allow her to complete each step in less time. With these improvements, Beth can now make 2 birdhouses each hour. By increasing her output without an increase in the time she worked, Beth has increased her productivity. Productivity is a measure of economic performance that indicates how efficiently inputs are converted into output. Growth in productivity is measured by dividing the change in output over time by the change in inputs over time. Beth could decide that she wants to stop working after she makes 3 birdhouses. If she produces the same output as before with fewer inputs, such as working fewer hours, then her productivity still increases. Increases in productivity allow Beth to either produce more output or have more free time, improving her standard of living. Similarly, the standard of living for the country as a whole depends on improvement in overall productivity. Historically, productivity growth has led to higher wages for workers and higher profits for businesses.
Ma'am, concept is much clearer now.
Okay, now let's talk about the fourth pillar of development. It is called empowerment. Empowerment means freedom to make choices, and power comes from raising freedom and capabilities. Empowerment comes from education, improved health and skill.
Once upon a time, in a country bustling with opportunity, a baby girl is born, a tiny princess to her adoring family. While she is treasured and protected by all who love her, her story won't unfold as the simple fairy tale they would like it to be. This is my story, and the story of women everywhere. It's the story of women taking control of their own destinies, women of courage, passion, persistence, innovation, compassion, and determination. It's about those who dare to break barriers. It's no easy task taking the road less traveled, but at the end of the day, the appreciation is worth it. Remember, the most interesting stories are not of those who had it easy. We rise, we fall. But what's important is that we find our inner strength and stand tall. Women, know your value. Wear your crown. Write your own story. We believe there's no limit to what you can accomplish.
Ma'am, it means if we need to be empowered, education is the only option.
Absolutely, children. If all these 4 pillars are kept intact, development index of any region will be very high.